Hi there, everyone. I think first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed to my channel. I've just seen the number of views as well. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Um, where do we go from here? So, just as an update, I have seen my specialist. I had my MRI last week. And just so if there's anyone new watching the channel, I have a condition where I have a shrinks, or as they call it, Syringomyelia. It's at the T7 and T13 area of my spine. And yes, it does cause me some significant issues. Where do I start with regards to the results? Crikey. So 2 years ago I had an MRI previous. And that obviously showed a static situation where my shrinks had stabilized and not actually been of any significant change. 2 years on, had my MRI again, as I've just said, and luckily the results have come back as, again, it's stabilized, it's in the same position as it was 2 years ago. So I suppose overall, really positive news. Am I upbeat about it? I guess I am, because obviously Syringomyelia is very challenging, I must admit. To the people out there who suffer from this, I feel your pain, I feel your anguish, I feel your frustration. But look, at the end of the day, this is a very silent pain. When I say silent, I have said this before, people look at you and it doesn't resonate when you think of the pain that you're in. And I suppose Syringomyelia, where in my condition it's obviously damaged nerves within my central spine, and bending, walking, doing any physical activity can be quite deliberating. It can really put you in some significant discomfort and pain, to a point where you just can't physically walk, or you just can't do the lifting anymore. You know, at the end of the day, your body tells you when enough's enough. And I've been in situations where I've just been doing gardening and overdone it. And my missus, you know, she's tried to help me, but in a situation where I've had to stop working, and yes, I've suffered for that. And I've been in significant pain for weeks with something that I was just doing a day-to-day activity. So where do we go from here? Look, at the end of the day, how do you guys feel about this channel? You know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to just portray me and what it's done to me, and it's changed my whole life. You know, I've lived with this now for 12 years of silent pain, 12 years of pain that drains you, that burns your inner self. And in a way, it's like pieces of, how can I put it, pieces of your life just falling apart, where you wake up in the morning, all you think about is what the pain's going to be like. You stretch, you try and gather your thoughts, gather yourself, so that you can get out of bed. And just this strenuous feel of getting out of bed, going to the toilet, or just even brushing your teeth can be a challenge in itself, especially if I haven't taken my tablet, which is pregabalin, which does give me that little bit of an edge. Yes, it allows me to get out of bed. Yes, it allows me to do a bit more. But at the end of the day, all it is doing is just blocking that pain, just allowing me to function. And I must admit, those challenges every morning, it's the same. It's you wake up, you take the deep breaths, you stretch, you feel the inner pain. You're so used to it, it becomes just the norm. So your day-to-day activity becomes the life of pain. That is it. And, you know, at the end of the day, I try and find myself, be positive, reflect on how I used to be, you know, from a person who swam most of his life to very athletic to, let me guess, how do you guys feel putting weight on? Yeah, I've put significant weight, call it a couple of stone, and you know, that is through probably turning to food to try and get some comfort. and one of those is my biggest enemy, and that is chocolate. So chocolate does give me the little bit of an edge. You know, at the end of the day, we all like a piece of chocolate, but for me, that just gives me that little bit of a comfort. And sometimes after a hard day of not just working, but fighting your own body, you just need something to be able to say, do you know what, I really need to feel normal again. And maybe for that split second, you just don't have that level of pain because your mindset goes somewhere else, and that is because you found something that you enjoy, and you forget about the pain just for that instant. And you know what, I will grab that as many times as I can in my day, because that little bit of instant of no pain is like, oh, it's the world. It is like such a great feeling. So yeah, I'm going to do a few more of these. I'm just going to keep feeding back to you guys how I'm feeling. As I have today, my pain levels have been between 7 and 8. Unfortunately, I picked something up yet again. I did something that hurt me, and I suppose now I'm suffering the consequences of that. Taking my pregabalin, taking some paracetamol, and in all fairness, the specialist as of today, he's put me on another anti-inflammatory, and that is hopefully going to, like he said, maybe take the edge off. Doxetine, I think he's given me as well. So a couple of drugs that I've got to take on top of the pregabalin, just to try and find a cocktail of, as I put it, it's my alcohol for the day. You know, at the end of the day, these drugs are my barrier. They are my shield to try and act as if nothing is wrong with me, and I'm perfectly fine. But saying that, I still have all my functions. I still have the ability to walk. I still have the ability to go to the toilet. I still have the ability to even talk to you now. And, you know, that's a positive reflection against how Syringomyelia can change your life. Syringomyelia is not the end. Syringomyelia is just another way of thinking about how you as an individual need to change your lifestyle. You have to accept it. It's took me a long time, 12 years in. You know, I've been living with this, and I will continue to live with this, and I will fight it every day, and I will be positive every day. But I need everyone's help. You know, at the end of the day, you guys need my help as much as I need your help. You know, at the end of the day, talking and listening to someone else who has that condition can sometimes give you that reassurance that we're both in the same place. But the condition can be offset, can be worse, but you know what? I'm not going to think about that. I'm here and now. I'm talking to you guys, giving you a bit of a reflection of my condition, how I feel at this moment in time. I'm feeling a little bit more positive because I've been given an MRI that has given me a stable position. 2 years' time it might change, 3 years it might change, but you know what? Here and now, I'm enjoying my life. I've got my life ahead of me, and you tell me, you know, at the end of the day, if you like what you hear from what I'm telling you, if you like my videos or my, you know, I'm just trying to give you guys just that little bit of information. And I'm not used to doing this. This is all new to me, but I thought I'd get out there. I thought I would just advertise it to everyone and just give my experience of living with Syringomyelia. And how, from an athletic person to a person who struggles to get out of bed and fights his body 24 hours a day, because even in the night time I wake up with pain. It's a continuous battle, but there's always that light at the end of the tunnel. There's always that reassurance that things will get better, but it's all in our mind. Mindset is obviously, if you want to live in self-pity, or if you want to actually live your life, you just have to learn to change things. And that's what I've done. And today's a good day. Even though the pain has been significant, it's a positive day because I've had some good feedback. And I'm wishing you all out there well. I know and I feel if you have a similar condition as me, it's not nice, and I don't wish it on anyone. But tell me how you're feeling. Tell me what your thoughts are. Put it in my comments page. You know, at the end of the day, stuff on that page, stuff that works, you know, we've got, I use that where I can try and feedback to people or understand what people do or take medication wise. And do I learn from that? Yeah, well, at the end of the day, you guys help me as much as I help you. So please feel free to comment, please feel to like, and I hope you enjoy this bit of feedback. But for me, great day, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Thanks very much for listening. I really appreciate it, I really do. And look after yourselves. Thanks a lot.